It's Madden NFL 23, and we have Alexander Johnson, who had a strong showing last week with an 8-tackle game. It's the Bears and the Commanders on Thursday night.
Bit of a sloppy track here at Soldier Field. Still getting some of the wraparound rain bands of a low-pressure system that's hovered over Chicago the last couple of days. Tonight we kick off Week 6 with a great Thursday night matchup between the Washington Commanders and the Chicago Bears. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Bears team entering play. They come in pretty desperate here for a win as they've started the year 0-5.
And it seems way too early to start talking about hot seats. But guess what? When a team is 0-5, people start wondering about their jobs.
Meanwhile, for visiting Washington, they've come in on a nice run of recent form, 4 wins out of 5.
And this coaching staff has to be pleased with how their defense played last week. They held their opponents to 3 points, and that was it. Thinking anything comparable to that performance, this one's in the bag.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. Takes it at the 7. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Commanders trot to the field for their first possession, and it's the 7th-year quarterback out of North Dakota State leading the way. His 3rd NFL team, Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz and the Washington Commanders are hoping to provide stability for each other starting in 2022. It's the 3rd team in 3 years for Wentz and the 4th starter in 4 years for Washington. The big thing with Wentz has always been staying on the field. And last season in Indianapolis, he played a full 17 games, leading the Colts to a 9-8 record and almost into the playoffs.
Wentz first play going right to the air. Middle of the field, he's got McLaurin. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A good start offensively. 15 yards on the game's initial play.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. A give up the middle to Gibson. And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42. The numbers on the ground for Gibson a week ago. 23 carries, 100 yards on the nose, and a score.
Well, obviously, he didn't have a great deal of time between games, having to turn around on a short week and get ready for Thursday night football. But he said in pregame he was feeling pretty good and felt more recovered from last week's contest than he would have expected. Didn't seem to think this short week was going to affect him much as he chases a big performance here in prime time.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 10 yards there, good for a Washington first down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook. Pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Wentz now on first down. Open man is Samuel, complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Well, there's no doubt that Curtis Samuel and Washington would both welcome a redo at his first year there. Injuries kept him to less than 100 snaps across 5 games. Everyone's hoping a return to health gets him back on track, where he's making a push for his first 1,000-yard season in Carolina. That catch there, good for a first down.
Wentz now on first down. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. comes in to blow that play up. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You're talking about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA and power forward. It's a really difficult task.
7th play of this drive coming up, and a long way to go on 3rd down. Wentz. Thomas brings it in. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears 19. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway.
Now that's all about making something happen as a quarterback because instead of forcing something on 3rd down, how about him buying some time outside of the pocket, waiting for someone to come open, and when he did, he put it on him for a big play and a first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. From the red zone now, Wentz. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Back to the ground with Gibson. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll run with Gibson. And Gibson looking for some kind of opening, but he has none. They rally up to stop him short of the marker. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring out 4th down. They'll go for it. It's Wentz. That's to his running back, complete. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. Washington goes for it, but it does not pan out. And this defense holds firm here on the opening drive of the night. Well, they miss an opportunity to put some points on the board on the opening drive. They pass on the field goal. What'd you think?
I'm looking at it from a positive standpoint for them. First drive of the game, they set the tone, right? They go downfield. They let them know how aggressive they're going to be all game long. Even though they don't get it, because it's the first drive of the game, you're not that worried about it. Hey, we've got plenty of other opportunities as this game moves on.
Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10 from back at their own 10-yard line. Here's Fields. Finds Kmet on the quick slant. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first. Now Fields. And incomplete on the deep ball. And, Charles, you wonder about this defense coming in. I mean, look, it's no secret they're playing a team that's down on its luck right now. Losers of 5 straight. How does that change how you prepare for a game?
Well, to me, the first thought is you just get out.
He's got a man, complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. An explosive 38-yard pickup.
That's a great job of working the sideline right there. I love how he tracked the football the whole way. Just reached up and pulled it in. Had excellent field presence to understand where he was in order to make that play happen.
Fields throwing again. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. Oh, he faked it with a juke. Now he's got some room. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Bears on the move. They've got another first down.
Well, we saw David Montgomery lead the nation a few years back in broken tackles when he was at Iowa State, and he's proven to be difficult to bring down in the NFL as well.
And as a former defender, I can tell you with certainty, those are the ones that have you losing sleep at night. I would not like to be in that film room on Tuesday going over that one. Just a pretty poor effort defensively, and it leads to a big play.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. A shotgun snap, Fields over the middle, and that's caught by Kmet.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Ball at the 8 here for 2nd and a yard, maybe a touch less. Fields.
This is caught. Touchdown, Bears.
Cole Kmet.
His 3rd touchdown now on the year.
And the Bears go coast to coast and finish the drive off with 6 points.
The losing streak had taken on a life of its own, and I think it infiltrates a team when you're on that much of a slide. But this group has managed to focus, come out early, and put a touchdown on the board. They look like they mean business in this one.
They do. Now the key, holding on to that attitude, because, man, that streak has been a struggle for them. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. So this drive spans 7 plays.
And it was all capped off by Cole Kmet with a touchdown catch. This is taken just shy of the 10. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. They come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into, how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game.
On 2nd down, a run with Gibson.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37.
6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
Only 7 players crossed 1,000 yards rushing last season, and one of them was Gibson, who made a big jump forward in his 2nd season. Entering his 3rd campaign, he cemented himself as one of the building blocks for the Commanders.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That goes for a gain of 31.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. To throw, it's Wentz.
Winds up and lets it go for Samuel. He's got it. Touchdown, Commanders.
Curtis Samuel, 32 yards.
And the Commanders are an extra point away from drawing level.
And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle 3rd of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Joey Sly on for the extra point.
Footing likely going to be an issue all night here on a rainy night, but this one is good. Just a 4-play drive that time. And the result, a touchdown for Washington. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. They are currently mired in a losing streak. Now they get the short week for the Thursday night game. Do you see that as a potential positive, or is this just more in what has been really a string of bad luck for them?
Well, to me, it comes down to leadership, and leadership's got to spin it into a positive and make it an advantage for them. Yes, we're in a losing streak. Yes, no one thinks we can win, but we have the resources we need right here in this room. Let's go ahead and play better. Let's hang together and shock the world a little bit. Put it all together, they've got a chance of coming out with a W.
Back to Montgomery on second down.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Throwing on third down, Fields. And this is taken in by Darnell Mooney.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. Now we're going to get a stoppage. Appears to be an injured Bear on the field.
So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. On first down, Fields.
There's the Washington Husky. It's Dante Pettis.
And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
From Commanders territory now, it's 1st and 10.
Right at the 40.
To throw is Fields.
Got an open man. It's Pringle. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down.
This has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Dante Pettis, a 14-yard touchdown.
And the Bears have taken the lead. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, second year in the NFL. And I don't know if last year as a rookie if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that as he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the second-year quarterback.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
This one fielded at the 5. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Washington's offense ready to go again. There's Antonio Gibson.
And we checked the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down the stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think you should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
On first down, right back to Gibson.
And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. I also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting.
And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sand. The Former third-round pick Justin Jones bringing the lumber that time.
And that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Now Wentz on third down. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And a nice job there defensively. They get him to the ground short of the first, right around the 42. And that's good for a gain of 6. And that's going to bring up a fourth down.
We hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
Wentz going to go on fourth down. He gets it to Thomas.
And they're going to get this up to midfield.
Both sides were holding their breath there on that fourth down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the first down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front, but somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
So this drive going to continue following the conversion on fourth. Here's 1st and 10. Straight ahead, Gibson.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Now Wentz. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Blowing that play up, Roquan Smith as he gets the sack.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now. And this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah,
What's going on?
It's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is it under pressure again? And down he goes again. The sack by Robert Quinn.
He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure. And these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
Wentz to throw for it on fourth. He completes this one to Terry McLaurin. And he's not able to get away. He is stopped well short of a first down. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Bears are going to get the football back, and they're going to get it in great field position. So they take a big chance here in their own territory, and you think the coach may have some questions to answer?
Yeah, and, you know, normally we focus on the media, right? The social media barrage that he's going to get for this one. How about on his own sideline and in his locker room? Because I think the team's going to look at him like, Coach, why would we go for it there? I mean, no confidence in the defense. You don't like the punter. I mean, what's going on here? You owe us some explanations.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Now it's Fields. Fields hit and the ball is loose. And it looks like, yes, the Commanders have it.
So the coach putting the blitz on, and remember, that coach, former defender in this league, he loves this.
Yeah, they love to see it happen because I think they just have that flashback about when they were playing, right? And that's what we were taught, that's what we did, and they use that same impact with their own teams and do the same type of teaching.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Wentz. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Thomas.
And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
Throwing again on second down. Wentz, and he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe.
Alexander Johnson, the one to drop him. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Washington with the football here to begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a third down coming up. Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. From midfield, here's Wentz. Got this complete to Jahan Dotson. And he's going to have a Commanders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Here's a give to Gibson. And he's got it down to the 28.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
Now Wentz.
And this is incomplete. Oh, that looked like a sure 6-point. He could not get that to stick, and that is a golden opportunity wasted there. Wentz to the sideline on 4th down. Joey Sly is out there now for the Washington field goal.
From the right hash, this from 45 yards away.
Sly able to put this one through.
And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10.
So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
This one fielded at the 5. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
So here are the Bears to take over on offense. They've dropped 5 straight coming in, so right now cherishing this lead. And they've got the football as well, 1st and 10.
Here's Fields.
Throw right side, taken in by Pettis. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible. Hope he's got man-to-man coverage.
Nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes. More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
On the move to his left.
Yeah, he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down.
It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
Back to throw, Fields.
And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down. So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows their punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that were happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
Handoff for Gibson, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Now Wentz on the bootleg. Got his target, Samuel. He's going to have the first down and then some. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. It was 3rd and short, and they go flying past the marker for a gain of nearly 30 yards.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And a lane slow and materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Throwing now is Wentz. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
As defensive coordinators around the league tell me all the time, that throw is not for every quarterback because you've really got to drive the ball downfield. It's going to be a tight window for him to fit that one into. In this case, unsuccessfully.
Wentz slings this deep from McLaurin. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Tress Way on 4th down is sent out to punt.
The speedster Dante Pettis back deep to return. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the Bears take over. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. The Bears on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
Now Fields. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Kmet.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Excellent play there on third down. Give them 25 yards. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. Dances by him. And he's got this down to the 35. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Well, part of why that play works is because the defense has to freeze because they don't know whether he's going to hand it off or keep it himself. And this time, how about that sleight of hand there? Gives it to his wideout, and that indecision defensively, boy, it hurt him in a big way.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. On 2nd and 12, Fields. They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. 7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Fields now to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. But he won't quite make it. He needed 6. He got about 5. 4th down.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
The Fields is off, and on comes Cairo Santos for the Chicago field goal.
On the right hash, it's a 43-yard attempt. Santos' kick is up and through, and that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. So they get the 3. It was 4th and 1, and I think you were doing what I was doing. I was looking down at the sideline. I'm not sure the offensive unit wanted the 3. They wanted to go for it.
But when have we ever seen a unit that didn't want to go for it in that situation, right? Sometimes it's just way more important to have the points on the board than to worry about any type of a gamble.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field.
They find themselves down 17-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10. Now Wentz.
A throw left side caught here by the tight end Bates.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
Wentz going to throw.
Pass complete. Finds Thomas going across the middle.
And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. So the completion good for 7 there. And that's going to make it 4th down.
Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts.
They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. They'll go for it. It's Wentz. Completes it to Samuel. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down. 4th and 2, they got it. That was kind of that gray area. Is that a feel thing, whether you go run or pass there offensively?
I think it's a feel thing. It's a tendency thing about what you like to do yourself on offense, as well as knowing how strong they are against the run on defense. Got to make a decision, and they made the correct one.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. And Thomas has it.
On the move past the 40.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
Wentz to throw again. Middle of the field, he's got McLaurin. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 26. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Good, strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking
Now Wentz again. Over the middle, brought in by Dotson. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
one thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes. You're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
To throw again on second down. Wentz. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for 1st.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. They fake the give. Now Wentz. Dotson has it. Touchdown, Commanders. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Commanders are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Extra point by Sly is up and good. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. (17-17) the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. This one fielded at the 5. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Chicago offense set to get started. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
And this pass rush has really been bringing the heat and has already gotten home a few times here in the first half. So how about the play call there? Sometimes if you can't protect, you've got to fool them. Screen passes like that can take a little steam out of what's been a relentless rush so far.
The Bears moving hastily in the hurry-up offense. From the 45 on second down. Fields over the middle, and it's incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
Now Fields, pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Personal foul, roughing the tackle, defense.
You see this a lot on corner blitzes because they don't often get a shot at the quarterback, so they want to take it when they can. But this time the hit came too late. Easy call for the official.
Throwing again is Fields. Open man is Kmet, the tight end. And he will have a first down here as they get into field goal range, down just shy of the 20. Fields. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit them, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. They'll run with Montgomery, and he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. Back at the 5-yard line now, second and goal. To throw is Fields. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Now Fields on third and goal. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Whether that's a little grabbing, a little hand fighting, by any means necessary on third down, he was able to get the job done in the secondary and swat that one away.
Santos' kick is up and through, and with that they take the lead here 20-17. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks will tell us end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Curtis Samuel and the rest of the offense heading back out there now. He's well on his way to a 1,000-yard season, maybe on pace to just tear past that, Charles. Defensively, they need to pay a little bit more attention to him?
Yeah, I think so, because remember, throwing the football, that can shred a defense quicker than anything else, because as soon as the catch is made, he still has the ability to, yards after catch, get downfield, gain even more, score touchdowns, all of that. This is going to be a lot of fun to watch as this progresses, to see how they defend him and how he changes up his game in order to try and keep getting open.
Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jaquan Brisker. And the Bears are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. He's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness has been good for his offense for the most part. So he throws an interception there. No one likes that, but I would not rein him back in. The return on investment thus far has been pretty good. 2 touchdowns to 1 interception.
All right, guys, thanks very much. We'll get back with you shortly. But first, let's take a look at what's coming up this week.